Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is, what is this? This is On the Anvil, episode 60, 60. It's about, my brain feels like it's at 60 at this point. I am Nate, and joining me here in the studio is Chris.
Hey, I'm Chris.
Woo!
That's Nate over there. I'm gonna boost my mic.
We are, this is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge, show you what we're working on, what we're thinking about, the latest, the greatest, what we're dreaming of, in this case, what we're building. And we're going to basically hang out for 2 hours and drink a frosty beverage and enjoy terrain and RPGs and each other's company, Chris.
Yes. That's the main thing.
Did you know that we're supposed to enjoy each other's company tonight?
That's actually the entire reason we started this stream, was just so that we could hang out. It was well, while still saying it was work. We wanted to get paid to hang out.
We could stare at each other from 8 feet away and go, good times, good times.
Yeah.
So if you're new to this stream, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to have a giveaway at the halfway point and a fan build. Please interact with us. Give us some questions. Razz us. Start a hype train. I guess that's already happened.
Yeah, we're already on level 3 of the hype train. Apparently, some people thought that what you said is a nudist stream. So that'll probably... If you're nudist,
is it one of those, like, we're just going to... I mean, I'm in.
We're going to change us to the hot tub category real quick.
Is there a hot tub category?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a.
I don't even. That's not.
It's a lot to get into.
I'm out.
All right.
All right. So yeah. So tonight. So we're doing a kind of a live build of the month, which should be kind of a fun. I don't know how it's all going to go.
Yeah, we haven't done something like this before. Well, we've done things kind of like this before, but we decided to take it up a couple more notches and created some technical issues in the process, which is why we're starting a little late.
This is the show with no technical issues whatsoever.
Yeah, I know.
So let's dive into the news so we can we're going to try and get to this. Normally we end up wasting an hour and then we never get to our main topic. So we're going to try and go fast and furious 10 through this news, and they're only on 9, aren't they? But this is the 10th one right now. We're making the 10th one live. I'm Vin Diesel, and you're The Rock. And this is the news! It's the news. And I'm Vin Diesel. Welcome to the news.
Is that what Vin Diesel sounds like?
Yes, clearly. So what's in the news, Chris?
Family.
Family.
All right, so we aren't showing Wildlands test shots this week. Yeah, we do have some. We have a good amount of them.
Dude, we got the dragon.
Because we didn't do... Yeah, we got the dragon. We got the other waterfall.
Battleboards to show. We got... Yeah. But we realize it takes about an hour to go through test shots, so we're gonna do that next week so we can go through this build.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, because we didn't stream last week, so we had last week and this week. We're going to have 3 weeks of test shots.
Yeah, we're going to have...
Next week.
Next week is just a test shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Other stuff kind of related to that.
Other things we're not doing?
Other things we're not doing? There's no hobby hang tomorrow. We thought we were going to, but as you know, if you've been watching fairly recently, we've been doing a lot of kind of moving, more expanding than moving.
Cleaning up, I think is what they call it.
Cleaning up that as well. Well, you know, we grow the space and everything. Yeah. And part of that is involving some wiring stuff being done, and that is happening tomorrow night when we would usually be doing the hobby hang, so we can't be in here painting. So, no hang tomorrow night as we get that stuff done.
But next week, the hamsters are back.
Next week we're back with fresh wiring. Other stuff we're not doing... the restock...
Water tiles.
Water tiles. Garderobes. The restock we were supposed to have hitting the store around now has been bumped from a 4th boat.
Remember my far-fetched conspiracy theory? It's coming true.
Yeah. Solve the bio barge issues? Yeah, the barge is good.
We actually haven't seen it yet, but conceptually it's good.
Conceptually it's good. We fixed the problem, and we just need to get the actual...
It should be coming really soon.
Yeah.
So we don't know when this restock is going to show up. It was booked in May. It still hasn't hit the water. They're saying now, theoretically, the end of this month it's going to hit the water, but I don't know. I don't know what this means for Wildlands shipping. Also, that's the bigger question. We have 6 containers that are going to rapidly fill up and need to go somewhere. And
people are wondering if this restock's going to end up hitting the same boat as Wildlands, and I think the answer is we have no idea.
What's going to be hilarious is when Wildlands ships with no problem and this restock still hasn't left the board. It's like the cursed restock. But yeah. we have 3 restocks, right? There's this restock, there's the late fall restock, which this is now becoming the late fall restock, and then there's the early winter restock, and who knows what, I don't know. Shipping is a mess right now. There's nothing we can really do. Jay's tried breaking it into pallets and just doing pallets, but we can't get traction on that either, and I don't know. We're looking for all the options we have. There's not a ton, and it'll be what it is. It really is a bummer.
Let's see. What else is going on? Also, for those of you who are fans of the Dwarven Forge web store,
Woo-hoo!
and fans of terrain trays,
Whoa!
and fans of the filter system, we've got an update that is specifically targeted at you. We've got some.
We've got all of those things rolled into one, like a little hot pocket of excitement.
Yeah. There's new filters for terrain trays in the store to help make it easier to sort through those and find your terrain trays.
Sizes, styles, and that's it, I guess. But you know.
Yeah, sizes and styles. Basically, terrain tray stuff should be, because there's a good amount of terrain trays in there, and it should be easier to find what you're looking for there now.
And more coming.
Did y'all get clarification? Merc wants to know if we got clarification on if it's classic or vaulted diagonal walls coming.
Oh boy.
It is classic.
So, yeah, it was one of those like games that we were playing a game of narrative telephone without realizing it or whatever. And so what Chris and I thought was going to be a full-fledged order of vaulted diagonal walls turned into some overstock of the original KS1 diagonal walls. So we had basically some extra stock. They'd overcast some or whatever, so there was a bucket of them that they're like, all right, we'll put them in boxes and paint them and ship them out. So we have not a lot of sets, like 100 sets of those, the original, which was really irksome to me because we want to remaster those things. They're not quite long enough. They need a magnet. There's a lot of, and we're going to do it at some point. But anyway, so we thought we were having diagonal walls. We do. They're just not the ones we thought we were getting, and hopefully we'll get the next ones down the. And who knows when restocks are ever coming again? So we're getting there. Though.
Yeah.
It's something. It's better than no diagonal walls.
Yeah, it's something. You can add your own pillars to them.
Yeah.
If you want.
Could glue the little gargoyle pillars on there. Beautiful work by Michelle.
Then one other bit of news. Some of you have already seen this, especially if you watch this channel. We've been doing a collab with Corridor Digital for a while, and they've released a video recently, kind of going over the production of it, and it's a really cool thing. We haven't really been doing they've been doing all the work, honestly. We just sent them
some
stuff.
sets and give them a thumbs up.
Yeah, we just talked to Sam.
It's my kind of collaboration.
Yeah, we just talked to Sam, the guy running it, and he described like what he was wanting to do with the game, and so that we sent him the sets that he needed for it. He already had a good amount. He's been collecting for, I think he said 10 years.
Spencer is one of the guys in their team, has like he's been collecting since Res and has a hell of a collection. They scanned a whole bunch of our stuff in 3D and built out the sets. They built stuff physically and scanned it, and then rebuilt it in 3D and are using it as a virtual background. So they have live action actors in costume. The players in the game in costume, and they're just like with The Mandalorian, right? They're shooting. They've got the camera live, and it's
really
almost
wild.
like The Mandalorian, and it's projecting the background behind them in real time on the thing and moving with the camera and focus and whatever.
Well,
it's outrageous. So they're going to be in the terrain. Like,
the wildest thing about it, if you watch it, it's just like watching them. Like I should put a shot together because he's got them on the green screen, and so
it's not even a green screen. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's a green screen. He's got them on the green screen, and that's compositing over
the camera is attached to the.
Yeah, he put the scan in Unreal Engine, so he's using an Xbox controller to move the camera inside Unreal Engine to make it match up with the camera movements happening in real life. It's wild.
Yeah.
He's hoping that comes out in September. That's the date that they've announced so far. it's going to be wild. We're
It's
really
awesome.
happy he reached out to us.
They've been writing a whole bunch of cool stuff. They have a whole bunch. I don't know. When he was pitching it to us, he was like, "We're going for this. We're gonna make it," and it sounded like it's gonna be awesome.
It's one of those cool things. I got so excited when Mace was like, "Yeah, these Corridor Digital people reached out." I was like, I've been watching them since high school.
Chuck is an avid watcher. We got it's it's exciting.
So yeah, that's out. It's a really cool video to watch. It's good stuff. The other thing we wanted to talk about, we wanted to pitch this idea to you, more or less, and tonight kind of ties into it a bit, I guess. We were thinking, especially during the downtime for building into build of the month, as we are going into
mystery
Kickstarter. Because somebody asked earlier, this is not going to be a build of the month that you can buy.
No.
This is not.
We'll get to this in a second.
Yeah. We were wondering if there'd be interest in doing a series of streams where essentially what it is people send in requests for modules or requests for builds, and it could be either, hey, I'm going to be running this written adventure and I'm curious, what tricks can I use to make this map work out well, or it could be a homebrew thing where you're like, I want to try to pull off this kind of thing.
How can I build a house floating in a caldera?
Yeah.
Show us how to do it, or something. Whatever. Give us pitch us a thing that you think would be cool to build on stream, and we can live build some of these things as sort of like a in lieu of build of the month currently.
Yeah. And I'm not sure yet whether we would want to try and stick to using existing packs or something so it's easy to replicate, or if it would just be a complete free build.
Depends on what the request is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see what the requests are, and then we'll figure out how to turn it into something.
Yeah.
So send us what is there something that would be fun for us to build on screen, or something you're struggling to build, or something you want inspiration for building, or what do you want to torment us with trying to build?
Yeah. And then people seem pretty excited by the idea. People are saying we have to do the house floating in the caldera now.
Whose stupid idea was that?
Ask for beach. Everyone asked for beach and desert builds.
Your sand. No.
Wave Echo Cave. Mystery Kickstarter beans. People are asking for beans.
Oh, so here's what we're doing. So we're going to launch a Kickstarter November 3rd. It's going to run from November 3rd to November 19th. It is not going to be terrain. And we are officially going to announce it on September 14th, which is 5 weeks away.
Yeah.
Not so long. But we're not going to tell you before then what it is. Maybe you'll end up there might be a bean the week before, whatever that Wednesday before.
Could be interesting. Just drop a silhouette.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
But it's Night Train. We will have, assuming Gen Con happens and assuming we go to Gen Con, we will have something you can see physically there if anybody's going to Gen Con. Anybody else worried about Gen Con? I'm it's been
I've been just watching.
It's freaking me out.
When you look at the graph of cases and all that, and you see it's been going down since April,
Indiana,
and then it started to just go back up, and it's man,
Indiana's not leading the charge in vaccines either, and
apparently they're under 50% vaccinated in that state, and it's
Gen Con not leading the charge in being a safety leader in conventions. And I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out in the next 5 weeks, but yeah.
But
so September 14th, we're going to give all sorts of official announcements about what we're doing.
Apparently, the launch date is Chuck's birthday,
and he's going to be in Hawaii with Michelle. They're having their honeymoon 29 years late.
That's cool.
It's kind of amazing.
That actually might be better, because then you're spending that vacation with you're already super familiar with each other. There's no.
Well, hopefully super familiar with Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're also familiar with each other before you get married.
But,
yeah. Anyways.
Happy pre-birthday, Chuck.
Yeah, happy pre-birthday, Chuck. Let's see. Is there anything else to say, or should we just go into the main attraction?
All right.
Main
You
attraction
wanna
time.
Swing that. Yeah, let's do it. You want to swing that main camera down? All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Yeah. So.
So look at that.
Wow. It's actually too.
Oh yeah.
Did you open up the?
Yeah. Let me.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
It was adjusted for
Yeah.
your face, and now it needs to be
Face,
adjusted for the
schmace.
terrain.
Yeah. And you can pan back up just a spickle so we can lose some of that foil. Yeah. Voila. All right. So, this is something I built for my home game, and which we're laughing with Ray earlier. This is like, my son thinks this is just how normal D&D is always played. This is just another Sunday for him. But I thought it would be fun to bring in, so I put this in the trunk of the car with a blanket over it and drove it in here, to do a sort of breakdown and show there's a bunch of fun tips and tricks in here and whatever. So we're going to kind of walk through. So the plan is, it would sort of be like a live build of the month where we're going to, I'll sort of walk you through what the story was, and then some of the ideas and things we're trying to pull off, and then walk through, hey, any tips with using the fog and the LEDs. Oh yeah, speaking of which, let there be light. That's better. Oh, I forgot this.
Put a price tag on it. Let us auction it off, says Jeffrey.
Yeah, the problem is,
Subtellen's guessing it's about 4,800.
I have no idea. This is I just free build with, and yeah, I had a thing I wanted to try and do, so I don't know. It's not sets, it's not whatever. It's a hodgepodge of whatever. But we're gonna do. I'll walk you through the thing, and then we'll go through some of the tips and tricks, and then I'll actually deconstruct. I'll show you some of the bits, whatever, and we can field questions and have fun, and I don't know. See what else. I don't know. Well, this is a new format, so we'll see what makes sense.
It's too late. They're already running the auction in chat.
Yeah.
So far, it's in mana with 602. DW just rose it up to 700.
Well, we've got. Chase is calling me.
The bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they're auctioning. I mean, they want That's
in. What it is. Like, they found out.
They're bidding $3,000. Who can beat?
They heard you had undisclosed assets.
Yeah, they're coming after them. Yeah, there's cave cliffs in here. There's crystal caverns in here. There's a lot of stalagmites in here. A lot of trifectas. The magma river terrain trace from Hellscape. A couple of fog monster 2s, whatnots. All right, so the story was the PCs are going down into the Underdoom, and they have to navigate through the crystalline labyrinth of Rull to make it to Teskadar, which is like the shining city, like the one bastion of hope in the deep, dark Underdoom. And the crystalline labyrinth of Rull is a bunch of tunnels that are peppered with these magical crystals, which every so often a sort of pulse of magical energy goes through and an effect will happen. They get to roll a d8, and there's eight different effects. Each color, there's 8 different colors, 8 different effects. One of which is, if you roll an 8, it's a wild magic surge, so that's no fun. Or maybe it's lots of fun, depending on how you look at it. And they're kind of navigating their way they wanted to get to the heart, because then they figured, I don't know, why did they want to go to the heart? Well, I guess they just ended up there. But anyway, the warlock severed his ties with his patron. His patron was the fiend, and it was just getting really bad for him. And so he's just like, I want to just sever all my ties with my patron. So this was my 9-10-year-old nephew who thought it was going to be so cool to be a tiefling warlock serving the fiend or whatever. And he's like, he's 9 levels in. He's like, this is kind of terrible. Like, I just have to do all this evil stuff, and it's like he's just making me burn things, and it's like it was just bad. So he cut his ties. He lost all his cantrips. He was losing his spells starting from the bottom. He was down to 3rd level and higher spells when he got here, and was just like suffering through it. And but trapped in the center of the crystalline labyrinth of Rull are two genies, a djinn and an ifrit, that were trapped here in the rift wars and whatever. But so they're inside this crystal, and they're calling out to him, because when they got close, they're like, oh my god, nobody's been around for like 1,000 years, and you're a vessel. Like, if you come close, you can choose one of us, and we will give you, we will give you power, cosmic power, like you've never had before. So he was like, we got to get to the center of this thing. There's definitely, I kind of want my spells back. So they finally get in there, boom, and they come in through this thing, and here, boom, they get to the thing, and it's a big old magma donut. And so I built this whole thing also. So we play. My son is there in the room with me, but then my brother, my niece, and my nephew are remote on Vorpal board. So I built for camera, right? So it's built to be kind of shot from the side from where the camera is. One of the bad things about the film is I didn't really utilize the backside so much. But I don't know, what can you do? It happens, right? Sometimes you don't make the most use out of your space. And these are all my builds I do on a 2x3 thing because I can pick them up, and I have these trays. I can slide it around and move it and stack them and do whatever to try and make space because there's not a lot of space in the basement, as you've seen in some of the streams. So they work their way in here, boom, and they're like, aha, we have. The warlock is like, that's it, that's what I power, my spells, the whole thing, I gotta go over there, and he's getting the vision of the Ifrit and the genie, and they're like, come, just touch the crystal and we'll give you the power, it just is a river of magma between him and infinite cosmic power. However, there's also, you can see over here, there's this is the, which camera's left? This is the
sunken a little light there. Let's move to the other one. We'll have light over here.
Pulsing Eldritch Eye from Caverns Deep, which was made by Granny Whispers, who's a creepy, like, uber hag from the Shadowfell, who they run into, whatever. So she's been corrupting all this stuff, whatever, and this is one of her hallmarks. So they see this thing here, and it's every now and then pulses out and is blasting fire into, this is the Stairway to Violence, or Pedestal of Pain underneath, which is thing, and it's causing the ripples and the energy in the crystals to come out fast. And it's blasting. So they kind of take this in like, oh, and as it happens, a blast goes, roll a d8 and have an effect. And the effects are ranging from like chain lightning. If it goes blue, you get and I use where's the remote? How did I lose I had it, I turned these on.
Yeah, you literally just had it.
I have black hole hands. I have this thing where if I put a thing in my hand and hold it for like more than a minute, it'll disappear.
Black Hole Hands is my favorite Soundgarden song.
Huh.
You literally check your pockets?
What's in its pockets?
Did you put it?
I don't know. I don't. How did
You haven't left that spot.
I know, the black hole. I've got a bag of holding in my hands. Well, I was going to demonstrate that too later and think. Well, anyway, you click the remote and it changes the color of all the crystals, and it's really neat. And they can.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, right, it's back. All right. So if you go cyan, then it's chain lightning. So anybody that's within 15 feet of a crystal gets hit with lightning. If anybody's next to them within 15 feet, they get hit, and boom, 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 they can blast out. Green, it turns everything turns to mud, and it's difficult terrain to start sinking in, and I don't know, a whole series of effects. Anyway, so it's a fun way. So basically what I went into initiative order as soon as they went in, and it was like on 20, this thing pulses, and they can see the color that's coming up. So I'm like, okay, it's green, and it's going to go off, and then on 1, the effect would happen. And they'd gone through, so they knew what 5 out of 8 of the effects were, so they could see. So then at the beginning of each round, it would turn and be like, oh, they're like, oh no, oh no, it's rainbow, it's going to be a wild magic surge. We got whatever, they could kind of prep that round for what was going to happen. So that was the first sort of fun gag, was giving them, the color would change, and they would look at their chart and be like, oh no, we have to prepare for whatever this next red is. I don't remember what red is. I should have brought the chart, but whatever. So it was fun gag with the changing the color crystals on there. So that's first immersive bit for the player. So then the fog, and we'll talk about how we're doing the fog monsters, whatever. So the fog was there just for effect. Maybe I could have had to do something cooler, but mostly it was just to like look neat and put an enormous amount of water on my table. Like these terrain trays were like just towels. They were drenched by the end of 2 hours. So by the end of this session, there's going to be water pouring off the front of the table, I'm sure. So that's something to think about with the fog monsters. And in this case, I actually have the table raised a ½ inch in the back, so it slopes ever so slightly down towards camera. So the fog, if you can see it, but the fog is moving this way because of gravity. Just a little bit, just enough to give it a little thing, but it's all, like you can see, it's all going this way. So that's a good little fog trick, is just tilt your, like, especially on the case of this tray, it's really easy to just pop a floor under the back and lift the tray up, or if it's a table, put two things under the two legs. So just tilt it just a little bit, a quarter inch, half inch, whatever, and it makes a difference in it. Gravity takes the fog.
A couple people are wondering if that means you shouldn't do this with light panels.
You can do it with light panels, but you might want to raise everything up one extra floor's height, or make sure it's tilted so the water runs down so it doesn't build up enough that it can actually get inside the light panels. I think their light panels are sealed except for the AC. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna try and short out a light panel. I mean, not on stream. Maybe on stream. Maybe that's maybe that's next week's episode. We just set a light panel in front of a fog monster and see how long until it shorts out. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah, because they are pretty tightly.
Yeah, but there is one, the AC port, and there's the ports for the things. So I don't know there was water pouring off the tray at the end of a 2-hour session. Mm-hmm. So.
Speaking of which, everybody always asks about these 2x3 trays every time they show up.
The Safeco document trays.
We actually
2 foot by 3 foot.
We have a link to them. We made a channel in the Discord called the Archivist Library.
Oh, it's amazing.
Where we just put like all the stuff that people always ask about. So like compositions for the upcoming core sets are in there. We have a link to the Safeco trays in there. Stuff like that.
Looks really cool.
So if you are curious about those trays, they're in the Discord.
Awesome. And I spray painted this one black because I didn't want it to be white, but.
Yeah, they normally come out white.
They come white, and I either tape them or spray paint them. Or spray paint's not great because it chips off, but black paper tape works really well too, or whatever, something to take the edge off. But anyway, so the players come in, right? They're coming through this tunnel. They see the thing. They also see Granny Whisper's thing. We go into initiative order. Boom. They're like, okay, we're gonna let's make our way. Let's get over here as fast as we can, and maybe we'll one of them went over to try and maybe figure out more of what was going on with this. Or actually, two of them. I guess two of them went over. They split the party. That was the first mistake, right? Because they're like, well, it's, we're just in initial order for the crystals, but it's nothing. There's nothing in here, so it should be okay. So two of them came over this way to go get a closer look at this thing, and two of them went this way, sort of the faster way over. And I designed it so that it was, I was trying to funnel the maximum amount of hazard for them from between A and B. And when they got, and I triggered it just probably one round too soon, or halfway through a round too soon, but when they got, one of them was over here on the edge, and two of them were over here, and one, so that I should have waited till the first person had crossed the lava. But the fun gag was this big old cluster of stalagmites over here. Yeah, go to the close, So this big cluster of stalagmites was not a stalagmite at all. Of course, it was a roper. And these guys are awesome, right? With 50-foot, you've got 6 50-foot tentacles you can grab players with, and a giant channel of magma over here, and these crystals that are like blasting out rando stuff, right? So this is the WizKids, the Nolzur's unpainted roper. I painted this guy up, and I looked at Aaron's cavern painting video, and I'm like, what are our base colors? And I used the Picorni, all the stalagmite colors. I just did the whole body and all the same steps of as we do with the stalagmites, and then went in and did his face and whatever. So you theoretically it's still, the textures are totally different, so it's not ideal, but it is roughly a blend when you're in there. But anyway, it looked like it was part of the thing, but it was a great gag none of the kids had ever encountered a roper, so it was a fun gag. And now they've got this awesome thing where A, they're split up, B, they're by the edge of magma, getting pulled into magma and dealing with this thing, and he hits hard, right? It's like 40 points of damage from the bite.
Yeah, Great Raven's saying that ropers kind of punch above their CR.
Well, especially when you've got some lava and the pulsing on the crystals that they had to worry about too, because that was causing some extra nonsense. So anyway, so that gets lively, right? So combat ensues. They're trying to deal with this guy / the Warlock is still, he's like, I just got to go. Like, I'm not even good in this fight. I don't have Eldritch Blast. He has no cantrips. He has nothing. He's like, I don't even feel like, I got to get to that thing. I'm going to have power. If I can just get to the thing, I'll have the power. I'll get, whatever. So he's just like, forget it. I'm going across the thing and over. He jumps over. The rogue barbarian is like, I'm gonna smash this eye thing because that'll probably stop the crystals. He's right. So he's like, I'm gonna cross over too. And so that's when we really get to escalate things. So I've got,
here we go.
Yeah. Because it was like, it wasn't enough yet. So I have these combat risers from Axe and Shield, which I adore. So these are the big, like the 1 foot high ones or something.
Big Jim says, sad thing is with younger players, they don't get a Mr. Roper joke. That's what I named the stream too. Is like, yeah.
They especially when they don't watch TV. So then I put
That's fair.
plexi. So I suspended plexiglass. This is like a 2x3 sheet of plexi, a foot over the build, and I have. Can you see with the closely over here? So I have the second roper. Uh-oh. How do we go? Maybe pull out a little tighter. All right. So I was reading The Monsters Know What They're Doing, right? The Keith Amon, amazing. Let's get this a little. Yeah, now we got something. All right, so now you can see the other guy. Yeah. So I was reading The Monsters Know What They're Doing. Pretty much anytime I run an encounter, I skim through there and see like what did Keith, what was his analysis on this monster? Is there anything I'm missing out on? And he was talking about putting a roper on the ceiling or whatever. And I was like, you know what? We got to put a roper on the ceiling, right? Because that's like, I mean, how it's just cool. B, it makes it a lot more lively. And C, we've got lava on the floor. So the idea is so now this guy pops out and they've got. So now he's yanking the dudes that are going off to the side and pulling them over. And once he pulls them over, they're over lava. So if they break the tentacle that's holding them, if they don't break the tentacle, they're going to get to the mouth and take 40 damage. If they do break the tentacle, they drop into lava for 10d6 damage. So they're like, it's really, and there's still the other roper, and the crystals are like blasting out the stuff. So it started to get pretty lively. So these guys were. So I just took took the mini, I drilled a hole in the bottom, dropped a magnet in there, and then put a magnet on the top. So then I could actually if I needed to move the roper around, I could just like slide the roper around by sliding this magnet over. And then I put a couple of our stalactites on. I just glued some magnets on them, and then put them on here too, so I could just like have some more texture upside down to really like to make it a little harder to maneuver / just look cooler in the underground thing. So that was and there was enough space in here because it's a foot high. There was enough space that I could get in and manipulate the minis and do flight stands and nonsense or whatever. And it got tense. Like it was it was the required difficulty that we needed, and there were multiple objectives because this guy was still he's still trying to get over here. They're still trying to go over here. They're still trying to kill these things, and they did manage to required lots of really good thinking. Like it was like they weren't just going to go. It's like 100 hit points or something. It's like there wasn't enough time. Like people were just going to get dumped in lava. So it became rogue barbarian with the immovable rod and boots of springing or whatever there that jumped up with the rod and grappled the roper on the ceiling, yanked him off the ceiling, and dropped him into the lava. But, of course, I was like, well, he's clearly a magma roper because he's in this magma cavern. So then, like, a turn later, he, like, came out flailing covered with magma, still attacking him. Like the Terminator, it's just like I thought he was dead. But what was interesting is it all became... They quickly switched tactics from this isn't going to become a raw hit point race because we're going to lose this race to it was all tactics. They summoned a Earth Elemental to pile drive the other roper into the magma, and this guy ripping the other guy up the ceiling. It was like, we got to get these things, like, we can't, we got to, they're just like, we're going to use the terrain to our advantage and try and do a thing. The only reason the other guy worked was the Elemental got a nat 20 tossing him into the thing, so I'd say he just impaled the bottom of the magma river and was like stuck there because it was just like too cool. Like, he picked him up like a wrestler, like spun around his head and like threw him like point first into the magma river and like buried it in the bottom of the thing, whatever. So anyway, so it was a fun and lively fight. It only used the half of the build really. Like it was this whole side, but none of the combat actually spilled over to the other half. So I could have maybe saved myself some time, but I didn't. Once again, you don't know exactly where it's going to go, and I don't know. I was thinking I was going to put another objective in the corner and whatever, but that would have been way too hard. But anyway, then of course in the middle of it, the warlock does make it to the thing, and he touches it, and then he gets pulled inside the genie bottle. Like this thing is like a genie bottle, so he gets pulled out of the fight, and he's got to go like role play with a 2 and choose which is going to be his patron and thing, while they're out there like just getting murdered, and like their blaster is in there like doing his like, there's cushions and there's this crystal thing, and they're offering him decanters of wine, and they're both wooing him. The Ifrit and the Jinn is like, no, choose me, choose. And of course he chose both. He power gamed that one out, and so now he can choose his. In the morning he chooses either the Ifrit or the genie patron is in Tasha's, and you get to choose your flavor. It's like the Dao, the Murid, the Jinn, or the Ifrit, and you choose a flavor. So I'm letting him, each morning he gets to choose which flavor, and it changes his resistance in his spell list and whatever. So it's like the 2 dominant, because, I was like, there's no way I didn't even, it wasn't in my flowchart that he would choose both. And of course, like that's, any good player, they're like, no, we gotta go both. So that was basically the story run. I think that was all the. They get all the bits. Yeah, they got to smash this thing and turn off the LED, changing the colors in the LEDs, magma river. And I had, we should have put more on here. I had some nice light on this when we were running it, so the terrain tray really pops when you hit it with some good light. So it was like it really felt red. Oh yeah, like this. It was like, whoa. And I had two lumicubes in the back. These are get a couple lumicubes here to boost the LED, whatnot. All right, so. Let's. Any questions first before we go start breaking down the build?
We've got a lot of questions.
Okay.
So will the flight stands of the Kickstarter include mounting hardware for caverns' roofs?
No. So the cavern. So this is just. So. Which cavern? Where? This is just. I just took. Where is this thing? I just glued magnets onto the stalagmites. These are our normal stalagmites. Yeah, I'll pull it off. Oh, good. It just popped. The glue popped off. You must use that factory glue.
All this fit in the trunk? Yeah, it's on a 2x3 document tray. Yeah. It fits perfectly into the back of this trunk.
And it actually had surprisingly minimal damage in transit.
Yeah.
I tipped over all the stalagmites preemptively.
There was one game, if you remember when we did the game with the team, that was using like a bunch of the Wildlands pieces, or just Dread Hollow.
Just Dread Hollow, big Dread Hollow.
Yeah, all the original Dread Hollow pieces. It was like this big forest build. He did the same thing. He built it at home and then transported it in a tray in his trunk. And by the time it got here, all the escarpments and trees and stuff had gotten all over the place.
I learned my lesson, and this time I draped towels and stuff on top of it, so like it would stop things from sliding.
How long are the clear plexi risers you're using?
They're a foot, I think. They're the biggest ones that were in the Axe and Shield Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But you could also do that with any, like, you could just buy plexiglass dowel or acrylic dowels on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Kind of maybe they have foot-long acrylic dowels, or I mean, you can use paper towel tubes if you didn't care what it looked like.
It's honestly something that you can DIY pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah. And I use, I use this 2 foot by 3 foot sheet of plexi and the risers I use a lot. Like I used it for that cloud build where I just put a bunch of these and some cotton, to put them over water terrain trays. It had like an aerial battle up there. Oh, I was going to show you so it's just I just took a stalagmite. I'll put it
let's put it on the sniper.
Right. Just glued a magnet there and then had other magnets on top of the plexi. Ugh. Well, that's...
Oh, good
those
luck.
are strong. Yeah, those are, maybe that's stuck there forever. and then just sandwiched it. And the same thing with the Mini. I just put a. I just drilled a. Damn it! These magnets. I drilled a hole in there, threw a magnet, and put a piece of tape over it so it wouldn't pop out. And then they do the same thing, so I could move him around on the plexi.
You know what it reminds me of? When you're a kid and you get taken to the hospital. Well, like not not for you, but like for somebody else, and so you just have to hang out in the hospital for a couple hours, and they've got like those toys in the lobby, and there's that one that's like a table with a bunch of sand
it's like the little rubber like finger guy that like.
And you move the magnets on the bottom of it to move cars around.
It's totally that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, okay. Let's get through all this. What are the lights you use? So we're using a lot of lights in the studio right now.
But when I actually ran it, I used 2 Luma cubes. We can send the links to those, which are you can. There's cheaper options, right? These things are expensive. They're like $100 a piece. But I used 2 Luma cubes in the back to give it like a backglow, and then I actually have over here. You see these are like the $2 LED waterproof LED pods that are RGB LEDs. Where did those go? Yeah. All right, so I had one of these with a crystal sitting on top of it. It looked kind of neat in the back to give a little light in the back.
Yeah, you can get those really cheap on Amazon.
And I had one in this other back tunnel to give it a little light. And then the rest of them are I used, and we can let's do a walkthrough of the thing. So this is like our LED wall, our Caverns Deep LED wall with the blue mushrooms in there. I have the freestanding LED wall. So basically I peppered around some of the blue mushrooms to contrast against the red. And then the crystal caverns are our crystal caverns, which aren't currently available for sale. They were in our Kickstarter, and they have the remote control, so you can change the color. And they're pretty awesome. Oh, that guy's not good.
Oh wow.
All right, so should we do a build breakdown?
Yeah, let's break it down.
Do we want to talk about, should we talk about fog first? Should we talk about, let's talk about fog, because that's a quick, I think.
Yeah, sure.
So I built this to use 2 of the Real Game Effects Fog Monster 2s, which is, I don't know, I think it's the best fogger like this out on the market. I mean, I don't know any other fogger like this on the market. So it's a water-based fog. It makes a lot of water, but it has a remote, and you can control the intensity of the fog and the color of the LED if you want to change it out to blue for contrast, and turn it on and off with the remote. So it's pretty cool.
It is a significant improvement over the
huge improvement off the first one. Yeah. No, those guys make some really neat stuff. And I just clamped them to the table when I was doing it at home here. I just have them on little side cars on the side. And I figured out, I put the tray in, and I knew I wanted fog in the back and some light. Like I had kind of a sketch of this thing, so I sort of figured out first what I needed to hide the fog tubes, and kind of built those corners first, and then built in. Wait, did I take a? Oh man, this is a totally missed opportunity. I think I took a time lapse of building this thing and totally forgot that we could have just showed it on this. Assuming I did. Hang on, maybe I didn't. Oh, I totally. You son of a gun.
I guess you'll just have to take a time lapse while you deconstruct this and put it in reverse.
Wow, I am a fool, Chris. I time lapsed the whole building of this thing.
You did?
I shot like 4 hyperlapses of it.
So you do have it.
Yeah, I just forgot. I just didn't think about it until right now.
You know what we can do though?
Yeah, what?
Let's turn that into some TikTok content.
Yeah, I hear the teens are into.
Yeah, we can put it on TikTok. We can put it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, so you can sort of see the process of me figuring it out on the fly and like, yeah, adjusting and readjusting and yeah. I even changed the angles and stuff. Wow, that was go me. I forgot about that.
What is the center? What is the
All right, well,
center of the island? Is it all?
And we'll get to
carbon
we'll get in a
forged?
second. Let's finish the fog and then we'll break down the pieces. So 2 foggers. I elevated them up so they could kind of cascade down, and then I knew I was gonna have the back here, so I wanted everything to kind of channel this way and look kind of neat that way. / backlight the fog so it would look neat on the on stream when I was playing my game. And I have a pod in here. You see some nice blue light in there. To once again, just the fog looks better when you have light on it, right? In general,
Yeah.
it looks So play to the light, make it go downhill.
Well, that's why you use it in film.
Yeah, these are all facts. Is that the fast? Yeah. And it's going to generate a lot of water, so be aware of the water. Any fog questions? Just fog.
Any questions
And we're
about
gonna
the
take this
fog
thing
only? We will get to the rest of it, but right now it's all. Are you using the large pipes on the fog monster?
I am currently, and I actually, when I ran it, I used the narrow with the elbows. This side was built, I built it to have the elbows go down, and this one I had the large. Because you get a little more velocity out of the narrow pipe. And I did a neat thing where I could kind of build it down through that hole. But right now I have both, they're both larges. Damn it, that's the wrong.
There's 2? Yeah, we got 2 of the fog monster 2s.
Maybe it's overkill, but
Do you have to refill it during a session? It'll last for. It can take a lot of water and it'll last for a while.
It lasted 2 hours, but I'd almost used it all because I had it in high blast because I just wanted to maximize. My sessions, I only run 2-hour sessions because that's all that sort of fits a Sunday morning, 9:30 to 11:30.
Do you ever incorporate their decorative pipe covers in builds?
I haven't, not yet, but I may someday. I usually, I don't know. I will at some point.
Have you
We'll have
ever
to
used
report
the
back.
cap with the small openings for rubber tubes?
Yes, but I've only done it. I haven't actually thrown the multiple tubes. I've just done it to kind of spray it in an interesting way.
How are you putting fog into the build? Can we see how they're hidden? You can see on the left side.
Let's.
Also, you can see it like. Yeah, you know what?
Kinda
Let's
dark.
move the
Yeah,
sniper
get
over.
all
The
this-
sniper can see that actually.
Yeah. So this is. All right, we can show you. So this is a fun one. I took the cave, the dead end passage, and basically used that over this like a little horseshoe, and then during the session, I actually used some black cloth to kind of cover out side rail. But I used that, and then it just basically feeds through a. This nice. It's an ad for Gorilla Glue. It feeds through one of the cabin entrance piece, or cavern door. I guess it's a 2x4 door piece, and then feeds into the build from there. And then on the other side, I used. Maybe you can see this one. This is a passage. Then I flipped a passage upside down to create a larger, like a double high passage, and then took a trifecta, one of the trifecta corner pieces, and popped that. You can't see it from this thing, but
Yeah, that crystal's in the way.
but essentially built out a passage, flipped one passage. Here, I can lift. I can't because it's buried under there. But imagine two of the curved passages. One like this, or one like this. The other on top of it like this, and then I put the risers on top of that, like yay, and then some stalagmites, whatever. And so this is on top of another passage, and the fog feeds through that. And then put a bunch of stalagmites in front of it to dress it up a whole bunch, and the trifecta wall just over it to kind of cap it and cover it, and then throw some black cloth over the rest of the tube, and then it looked really cool on camera and in person. Yeah, the fog is like, it's just fun. Wait, this one needs to turn
How wet does the cloth on train trays usually get using the fog?
Absolutely drenched. Like I had to get a towel.
Yeah, the fog monsters.
Yeah, it was outrageous. There was water was pouring off the front of it by the end of the session because this tray is plastic, so it is. Hey, Jim is calling. Should I say hi to him?
WebDM Jim?
No, Jim. Stat Trackers Jim.
Oh, Stat Trackers Jim. We know too many Jims.
Man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm live on Twitch. I figured I'd say hi, because you're. Yeah, I thought maybe you had some questions about the build. No. Good. Jim says hi to the audience and buy some stat trackers. Yeah. Hello, fans. I agree. He says best gaming train in the world. Let me call you back when the stream's over. All right. I thought you were gonna. I was hoping you had a fun insight on how I could do this build better. All right. Yeah. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. So Jim makes stat trackers, which are, I don't know if anybody has them, but they're awesome.
You use them for all the games in the office.
Yeah, they're just dynamite. He was Stefan's DM back when Stefan was a teen, whatever. They've he's been with DF for like ever. He's Jim's the man. Anything else about fog?
Did you try placing the fog monsters on a chair or lower object? Supposedly they produce less water that way, but I've not tried it with mine, says Lori.
Well, no, I did not, but they were low, like they're lower than the tray is up a little higher than them, and I clamped them down. But I think the fundamental problem is it's water vapor, and water vapor turns out is water.
Will the train trays rust, or are they stainless?
They are stainless, and they're also sealed neoprene, so I don't know. I haven't never seen rust come out, but I'll keep an eye on these ones. You know what we should do? It's almost 8 o'clock, isn't it? Let's do the giveaway and the fan build, and I'll come back and we'll take this thing apart and show you guys how we did it. I can't believe I had these time lapse and we didn't use them.
Hey, we just got to make sure that we turn that into some content wherever we can.
I was past me was really thinking.
All right. Let's. Is this build the giveaway? No.
All
right, so I'm gonna go into like this.
Woo!
Mother.
What's our giveaway word?
Hey, what is our giveaway?
Mr. Roper, one word.
Mr. Roper is one word. That's not the worst thing I've heard.
What's the worst thing? Oh no. All right.
I can't say it on Twitch.
Yeah, good.
Mr. Roper, all one word, no period, just M.R. Roper.
So M-R-R-O-P-E-R.
Roper. Just a cat saying Roper.
Roper.
Yeah.
Roper.
This is an international giveaway. You can win this no matter where you are in the world.
What are they going to win, Chris?
Well, you can, no matter what, you can get a $50 gift card to the Dwarven Forge shop.
Woo!
No matter where you live. If you are in the United States, you can also choose to get a basic cavern set instead. However, we cannot ship that outside of the United States. However, you can always get a gift card. There goes all the entries. All right. What's up?
It made me think about shipping to Arc Villain minis.
That's fair.
I'm talking to those guys. They're in Greece.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's shipping
we
like
wanted
for
to
that?
send them some stuff, and it's like, to send them like $100 set, it's like $200 in shipping to send a $100 set.
European shipping gets really rough.
It's not so good.
For sure. All right.
But gift cards are free.
Let's take a look at the fan build.
Woo!
This week's fan build comes from Dragos.
Whoa!
I'll give you guys one guess. Not one guess. If you guys can guess which adventure this is from, go for it. There's not any prize for it. I don't know why I said that.
Is this a published Wizard's adventure?
This is a published Wizard's adventure. If you already know, that's cheating. If you've already talked to Dragos about this.
Is this an Avernus thing? Is there a city that's split by a river of magma? It's amazing.
Yeah. Dragos does cool stuff.
Good.
He sent this in
to it Tomb of Annihilation? Is there like a...
You were right with Avernus. It's yeah. And Merc also said Avernus with a question mark. So I'm gonna assume that he didn't cheat.
I haven't run or played any of the published Wizards modules. Other than
You
I
played in an
one
episode of
session.
Avernus with Badgers, yeah.
I played one session with Badgers, but it was like funny red caps in a thing. Like it was not quite the hell I thought I was going to.
I love how he made, so that's supposed to be Zariel. The huge knight with the wings, and he just took a Forgotten Knight mini and he took wings and
I love it.
put them on to make it represent Zariel.
It's perfect.
Yeah. This is Idle Glen, I believe is the name of the place.
Doesn't look idle to me.
Yeah, well, I think that's the point.
That's awesome. This is a great build.
The way I really like the way that he staggered out the light panels
Yeah,
and hid them with the banks.
It's glorious.
Like
it's really striking. Must have been really fun. A big old dead tree in the middle thing. It's like literally, it's just, you're right in the middle of the action.
Yeah. Wings are from Grim Talon. Oh, Dragos is here. Wings are from Grim Talon Reaper Bones. Let's see. Love the burned tree. Apparently that burned tree, I think he said on the Discord, was a Halloween decoration he got a while
awesome.
ago.
You go to Michael's at Halloween and there's all sorts of...
That's the thing, right? There's some really cool places like pet supply stores, like aquarium supplies, make really good mini terrain sometimes.
So much good stuff you can scavenge. This is awesome build.
Yeah. It's really, really impressive. It's one of those things that like shows that like Hellscape isn't that niche. Like you can blend it in with other
particularly when
other
you're in a health-themed campaign here.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, I hope this inspires you guys. This is
it's a really cool build. It's got the cathedral stuff in the background I like.
It's so good. It's just like the composition, the whole thing. Like, dude, I want to play in that.
It's very cinematic, and it was actually played too. Like it's not just
it
looks like a diorama.
An actual session.
Yeah, it looks like a diorama, but it was actually played on.
It's great.
Yeah. If you want to know what was used for it, it actually is in the fan build gallery this week on the site. And one of the things I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to
get a set list.
Anytime that they say like, so we ask people like what they used for it, and we've been doing that since the beginning. But I'm trying to now link to all the stuff that they talk about.
That's awesome.
Because it includes for the Walls of Fire, he also used McKee's Morology. They make these little stands to put under the Wall of Fire that illuminates it.
I have one right here actually, which I forgot to turn on, which I was using in this build.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I forgot. I just literally was staring at it as you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes really good stuff.
Yeah. You want to show it just so they can see what it looks like? Just that. And
it's got two LEDs and it fits our Wall of Fire fits on it perfectly and it illuminates out and it's awesome. Yeah. I was using it in this case. I put it on its side and put it behind the pedestal of pain to give a little more flickery light coming up out of there.
Yeah. All right, let's roll this giveaway and then get back to the...
So Mr. Roper, last chance.
Mr. Roper.
MRROPER to win.
77 if you were in there.
Woo!
Let's see. Do you have any left there in Hellscape? Oh, what were you looking for, Raven? Then I'll go find light panels. We have the light panels coming in, don't we?
We reordered. I mean, who knows?
It's just the shipping.
That's ever going to arrive.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody has any questions about this stuff, I know the big thing everybody's asking about is when are we going to get Crystal Caverns and Cave Cliffs back in stock?
Not for a while, but it's on our radar.
Yeah, those are things we're working on. All right, let's do this giveaway.
Let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mr. Roper.
Spirit Flame. 9279. Spirit Flame is a very accurate.
It's a perfect name for the day.
It's a good thing for this.
Build,
I'm gonna whisper you. I'm gonna ask you which thing you want to get, and ask for an email that we can reach you at, and then we're all good. Oh, it looks like we've actually had you. Perfect. I assume if the same email works. I guess you. Yeah, you won a while ago. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Congrats.
Let's
All right.
Whoa. What'd you drop?
I just kicked the plexiglass.
Nice.
To something.
Okay. So,
All right.
what do we tackle next?
Let's. So we're gonna break this. We're gonna break this thing down. What are we gonna talk about? So, I don't even know where to start. Let's look at the. Should we look at the center of this thing? And if anybody that just joined us, this is it's a build I made for my home game. Used fog, used LEDs. Seemed like it would be a fun thing to show off. And now we're gonna take it apart and see how we did it. I should have sent that time lapse. I could have just done director's commentary on the time lapse because I literally was the process of like building it and adjusting this and that and yeah. Anyway, I mean it's like 6 videos that have to be strung together and sped up some more and whatever. But so I knew I wanted a central. So I knew the gag was going to be there was a central area that was going to be sort of hard to get to. And I didn't know what I was going to fight, and I don't know how I ended up settling on Roper. But so once I was like started thinking of Roper, I was like, oh, this is the perfect because we got all this fun bits. So anyway, but I wanted the central area to be raised, A, so it sort of looked more impressive, and B, so it was even harder to get to. And it sort of as I was building first I figured out I was kind of figuring out the sizing. I did really rough out sizing I just sort of laid down some of the crystal pieces. I'm like, how big do I want this thing to be? Figured out what that was, and then I was like, okay, well I think this is the process. I don't know because I have to actually go back and watch the time lapse. But then I was like, I laid down the terrain trays. So these are the Magma River, and we'll get to these last because on the bottom. But these are the Magma River terrain trays from Hellscape. And I started with just 4 corners, 4 curves, so I would make a full donut. And that wasn't quite big enough, so then I put the straight 6x6 in there and in the back, so you could bend it out just enough so it's a little bit of an oval. And then a few of the areas over here, like I paved on top of it, I put some plain terrain trays to cover up any of the extra lava, so it felt more contained. Ooh, that overhead is a good one. So basically, once I had a rough idea of how big this was going to be, threw down those terrain trays, and then started building out this thing. Because this was sort of the main attraction. I'm trying to figure out this thing, and then I was like, whatever space is left, I'm going to kind of build some banks and see what it looks like. So this was, maybe I'll peel, what's the fastest way to do this? So I did a perimeter of cave cliffs with a center. The center is a terrain tray. Let's see if I can lift this up. Of course, we've got other stuff built on top of it, but like there's a terrain tray on stilts in there, and essentially just a mix of banks and trifecta ledges around the edge. I basically wanted to get at least 2 inches high, and then I actually went up another layer back here. So it's hard doing it backwards because you have to it's harder to see I don't know, but we'll see what. So and I knew the central thing wanted to be. This is the heart shard from Crystal Caverns in Caverns Deep, on top of this is the 4x4 LED floor, also from Caverns Deep, with its 2 settings.
It's the basalt floor?
Yeah, 4x4 basalt LED floor. So that was the center piece of that thing, and I raised that up an extra. I don't know if you can see. We went from regular floors up 1 bank height, so another floor height to that. So that this whole back area, I could lift this up. This is 2 floor heights above the cliff, so just give it an extra little oomph up so you can see it higher. And I scattered out a bunch of the non-LED crystals around to kind of give that extra flavor / make more hazards, make it harder to wander around, and use the crystal floor in there too for just more embedded bits. So I'm going to leave those on there for now because I can lift that up with a terrain tray to show that work. And then besides here, just once again using banks and trifecta ledges to go up 1 height to get up to this back area here. Oh, and this is a really good Can you see this with the
Sniper?
pop it with a sniper? So this is the pedestal of pain. Maybe we should go up on sticks on that so you can actually see. One double. Here, I'll help you. Ah!
Here we go.
Hang on.
There we go.
Try that. See if that helps us get any. Yeah, maybe. You can see we're going up with one trifecta height to here, but over here, this is the pedestal of pain. I use that in line with the cliffs to give a kind of cool magma, like the sides are spilling out with magma, and it's feeding. This is the weird eldritch eye that's feeding into it, and so I was like, well, it kind of makes the whole side feel like magma, and it's motivating this versus magma, or whatever. And then literally just built right on top of the pedestal of pain. And turns out that a diagonal, a corner, a straight, and a floor fit like marvelously right on top of the pedestal of pain. Who would have known? But gives us a little, and that's the regular caverns color pedestal of pain, not to be confused with the hellscape color pedestal of pain. So fun use of that thing. The whole back area, this is built on a terrain tray with stilts, and then I have a bonus stilt in the back that was just holding up the back of this crystal alcove. Right, but just everything. Stilts and terrain trays are just the fastest, easiest way to lift anything up. So this is just built right up against the pedestal of pain. Drop this in, off we go. And this is a floor height higher than in front of it because it's a 35 millimeter stilt plus the 12 millimeter stilt. So it's 50 millimeters of stilt on top of that, then with a floor on top of that further. And then in front of that, so this came up a level. Let's pile all you guys over here. Maybe I'll turn those off as I go. Also, if you're going to do a long session with the caverns crystals, you should change the batteries before the session because you can burn them out in a 4-hour. They start going all disco colors and crazy. So then the front section, it's unpaved. We'll pull all these out, all these crystals. And these crystals are great for just dressing anything that you needed to like cover or make more interesting. I just used tons of flat floors and then just peppered in some crystals, and suddenly you've got flavor.
Really breaks up the...
Yeah, because this is all just flat floors except for this one crystal floor. This center section here, let's see if I can lift that out without disrupting everything. Take that guy off. You don't see it in there. This is good. So that's just, that's an 8x8 terrain tray on stilts, just to fill in. Wow, look, there's water, like a thick layer of water.
Is there?
Yeah. So this is caverns. Let's see, right? Caverns, cliffs surrounding. I just basically dressed up, put down the terrain tray, and did a perimeter of caverns, cliffs, and then paved on top of it. So it's a really simple. Like this stuff is very easy builds, and the stilts. Stilts and terrain trays I use in almost every build. Best way to go up, and exact heights, and then. The tops of to even out. I could have gone lower, I guess, but I wanted to go as high as I could. So I put banks and terrain trays on top of the caverns cliffs, so I could just get a really good solid height. And then up in front of them, I should have had a bucket ready to just dump all these pieces as I.
Do you want me to grab one?
Take them. Is there a bucket?
We got a ton of buckets out there.
Yeah, grab a thing and I'll just clear the book because it's hard to see what's what when I start throwing the clutter everywhere. Oof. I hope this is the most useful way to deconstruct this because also once it's gone, it's gone. It's like the Buddhist sand art. We just, yeah, buckets. The buckets. Oh, the rolling tray. That's amazing. Woo! Thank you.
Might need to get. Rabbit says you might need to get some cavern banks. The stone banks are really
Wait,
good.
you don't have any stone banks, Rabbit? Oh,
he
these are
just got caverns for the first time like a month or two ago.
Right. Space Marines don't hang out in the caverns.
Oh really? Yeah, he mostly focuses on exterior stuff.
He's got like $10,000 worth of castles, but no caverns. Makes sense. Good to see you, Rabbit. You're up really late. Thanks.
I do wonder how much damage we've done to his sleep schedule by because he's at these streams every week.
It's pretty amazing.
And we start pretty late for him already.
All right, so fun things over in the front. Let me just slide this over.
Because he's still just about awake. Yeah, he usually pieces out near the end, but the stone banks are really nice. I really like them.
I'd use them for so much. Around the front of this thing, I put. Oh man, I missed it. What did I break? I put a bunch of, to break up the cliffs to make it a little more accessible in areas. I put a bunch of the risers and then some stalagmites to make it even harder. So areas that are harder to get up and areas that are easier to get up. So there's like ways for players to get up. I even put a couple of the magma jumpy stones in there so they could jump on the magma jumpy stone, but it would take damage when they did it. But it was like sort of the easy way across is you go to that, to this, and work your way up. But gave them a bunch of different ways, some easier, some harder, that they could get across the magma without too much athletic nonsense, because the ropers were going to be there to provide the extra challenge. And then I didn't even put. I'm looking at this. I didn't even put any terrain trays or anything in the middle. It's all just. This is just the tray, that I'm building on. So
wow, it really is wet.
Yeah, no, it's drenched.
It's got that like asphalt after rain look to it.
Yeah, the wet down. Where you're like getting ready for film. Oh, and I put over here. Wait, see this thing work? I'm just seeing. I turned it. Oh, the battery's already dead. I put one of the freestanding crystal walls in the side of it there, so we could have more glowy crystals on the sides. Just try to get as much fun LED stuff in there as possible because it looks good. And then a few elevation blocks inside to build it out and whatever. So that's I think everything on the center. Any questions on the center before we go out to the outer rim?
Got any questions on the center?
Which is now like.
Well, they're all talking about European schedules. Those are the magma terrain trays, not the lava?
They are the magma river terrain trays from Hellscape. And we'll get to them as we uncover. And this is an 8x8 magma rock in the middle, where it was because the only 8x8s we did. I needed an 8x8 for the middle. Yeah, I liked the magma rivers from Hellscape have really nice velocity to them. They have got really, they move. They have, it just looks, I don't know, they're just like, they're one of the coolest ones we've made.
Somebody was saying earlier that when the fog was going, it made it look like the magma was actually moving.
It got a lot, there's a lot of life in the build when the fog is going.
Are the magma terrain trays in stock? I'm not sure. Let me check real quick.
Of course, if we have a thing that's in stock and one that's not, I always end up building with a thing that's not in stock. That's like, that's how it goes.
The Magma Flow, the 6-pack, the like multi-pack of like different sizes for the Magma Flow straights and curves, looks like it's in stock.
Woohoo!
So is that's rough stone lava. Never mind.
You can just use the terrain tray filter for lava, and you should.
That's entirely true. Looks like we just had the multi-pack.
Let's look at. I use a lot of stalagmites in this thing too because I wanted it makes moving around better, and B, as soon as the first roper popped up, it was like there's paranoia in every stalagmite. In fact, that was the quote of the session. My niece said, "I will never look at a stalagmite the same way again." Like that is Roper in a in a nutshell. All right, let's go to the outer bits. Should I just pull the whole center out? Would it make it easier to see what?
Do you need it for anything else?
No, man. I'm just gonna take a bucket of pieces back home and.
All right. Well, if you have anything you guys need the center for, speak now. I'm a bit sad the build of the months are on hold. Those streams were at a good time for the UK. Well, that's the thing is we might, in theory, if we start doing this other show, it might take a similar time slot. It is also like, it's a curious thing because like we had the like when the streams would be happening and all that.
Oh, this is an interesting, at least to me, interesting. So the perimeter. So this is all around the perimeter of what's left. Once I take all the cliffs and everything out, there's stalagmite, riser, stalagmite, crystal, stalagmite. Like I really peppered. I didn't realize how much I sort of peppered the stuff around the build to break up that cliff and try and make it as cavernous as possible. I feel like this. I can never have enough stalagmites. I just throw like there must be 3 packs of stalagmites in here or something. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 towering stalagmites. 2 of these, whatever these ones are called, the big ones that were the reprints from the resin. And I don't know how many other. There's ones from KS1. There's a lot of stalagmites. Moral of the story is stalagmites really give you a lot of caverny feel. Plus with the fog, they feel really neat. This little area. So this Eldritch Eye is just our basalt floor socket plus the Eldritch Eye, and I made a little, once again, a flat area, super playable area that they could get to if they could make their way over this. Right? You know what it is? I tried to make. There's a lot of stuff that has like sharp stalagmites, whatever, and then a lot of areas that are just open, clean rock. Like I was, I'm tempted. Sometimes I overclutter the stuff, but I was tempted like this area is all just wide open with this one MacGuffin, so there's like area to get to and play. So there's like a lot of very playable areas and then super unplayable areas.
Yeah. So sometimes it's easy to. Like you look at a zone and you see like there's not a lot of stuff in there and you're like, this is just boring.
Throw some stuff in.
But then you realize once the minis are there,
yep,
they're gonna need that space.
Well, and that was like on the top it was just all flat things, and I put in some crystals for taste, but then at that point the rest of it was just simple flat stone that you could just maneuver around and do whatever you needed to. So try to leave breathing room for all the bits. Let's look at this cluster over here. A little wider. Whoop.
Wrong one. There we go. The Pedestal of Pain, though, it's calling to me.
Yeah.
The Pedestal of Pain's a really cool piece.
It's an awesome piece, and it
Can you do it justice?
It was nice to be able to put some lava. Where is it? Put some lava in this to try and feed the build. And I don't get to use it getting to use it as like just a piece of terrain. Like once it was covered, it was just like it looked like a cliff with magma coming out. So it was just what I needed to just an extra little piece. It was flair that didn't get in the way of being able to be playable, and it had more LEDs. All right, so for this whole thing here, just banks and trifecta ledges. And then an excuse to just put tons and tons of stalagmites and a home for a roper. And then what I tried to do was make a couple of paths with the stalagmites and crystals, so the players had to come like close enough to this guy. Like the only ways through, you had to come either over there or over here or over here or all the way around there. But you were forced into, like I put him right in the prime time spot in this huge cluster of stuff too, so it was hard to get line of sight on him, and just really an interesting. It was the perfect little surprise for them. It's really neat.
Huh. Chuck has an interesting question.
Hey Chuck.
Random question: will a small castle tower fit on top of the Stairway to Violence?
Stairway to Violence? Yeah. Yes.
Do you want to? We have a small watchtower built right there. Do you want to test it?
Do we have a stairway? He's talking about the stairway to violence.
I can grab
grab
a
a stairway. Yeah. This is a random question. It's gonna be close. It might be overhanging a little bit, but yeah. Let's see what. You know what it does fit on? 4 of the Aranthor Mountain, the rock clusters, the flat rock clusters. There's a lot of cave cliffs. Well, it technically fits. It is, it's rocky.
Okay, now imagine having a natural bridge.
Now watch that first step. Yeah. Natural bridge to it would make all the, it's definitely a little tippy. I would shim it or something. I'm not sure, but wow, look at this. Can you see this edge? Wow, that is cool. That's cool. I mean, it's like a perfect fit.
The rabbit special. Yeah, that's right, rabbit. Woo! That's the rabbit special. We were doing something with it earlier.
Wow, I'm gonna have to. It is a rabbit special. The base is over there. Yeah, that's a pretty cool. I could have put this in the middle of the magma flow, and that would have been awesome. This is totally where a hag lives. Right, or something like weird. Yeah, the old magma hag, and all you need is 1 6x6 magma flow, and off we'd go. Wow, that's cool. Good idea, Chuck. The bridge, you put a thing like just crumble it out right to it, and boom. Oh, I love that. It is really precarious.
It's really you might want to stick it down.
I would put a bunch of white stick and dreams. Hope.
Yeah, you can make it work, but it definitely it doesn't fit like in a. You can just take the stairway up to it.
Don't build it in a wind tunnel.
Inventorying set and wondered about an iconic wizard tower on an outcropping of rock. Once Wildlands is here, so you can pin like the bridges onto so many of those escarpments.
Yeah, it'd be outrageous.
You can put it on Titan's Tooth and then pin a bridge to Titan's Tooth.
That's what we got over here. Funny enough, for the perimeter, it's all trifectas and advanced core, like the convexes, rising walls, whatever, LED. Put as many LED bits in as made sense. More cave cliffs over in the corner. So many stalagmites. It doesn't even make sense. Stalagmites. Like there must be 40 stalagmites, 50 stalagmites, 60 stalagmites. I don't know. More. What else? Just banks. Yeah. And then here let's look at this. I'm gonna take all these stalagmites out. What's so funny?
People are wondering if it fits on the pedestal of pain. I think this is going to turn into
what things can we balance?
Yeah, what can we put it on?
You know, it does fit in there.
Nice.
Yeah, fancy cider. Let's get the rabbit special. This is definitely going to go awry.
You're going to put it on top of the cider?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that that's alcohol abuse. It's on there.
Okay, but does the cider fit inside the watchtower?
If we took all the floors out. I mean, it's on there. It's not as cool as the Stairway to Violence fits it better. It's a little too big.
The stairway has a broader top is the thing.
Yeah.
Now on a Titan's Tooth?
It does fit on a Titan's Tooth. It's just a little crooked.
Yeah, the Titan's Tooth has a larger surface area than
Fine.
Are you grabbing it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're on a roll. I gotta give them what they want.
All right. Well, here we go.
Darn it! Where'd the?
We didn't do test shots today, so we had to show some kind of Wildland stuff. Oh, great! I can hear them on the headphones.
Ha!
Titan's Tooth is not entirely flat. Yeah, that's the one issue with Titan's Tooth is that it's got some bumps to it.
What's that? Who was what?
Rabbit was saying Titan's Tooth isn't entirely flat. I'm like, yeah, that's like the one downside is it's a little bumpy.
It's yeah.
But look at that surface area.
I'll tell you, it worked really well on the foam mock. It worked really well, but we have like real roots and stuff now, which is. Whew. Also tippy. But
If you take out the bottom floor and you just have the walls, like, does that help? Probably not.
it works better on the
Making credit play. Oh, does it work on the base?
ish.
If you spin it to where the paired peg holes are on that, and then you have a
Yeah.
bridge.
Yep. If I could find the pair of pig holes there.
So you have it like that, and then you have a bridge pegged right underneath it.
Yeah.
Where's the drill?
Yeah, that would. This is stable too. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Could do a series of these on each on different rocks, like spread out in a bunch of like in
That could be really
weird
cool.
water. Or
Somebody who
dark
got like
sludge.
5 Titan's Tooth and a bunch of castles.
Or just different, like one's on a pedestal of pain, one's on a stairway to violence, one's on a Titan's tooth. Like just spread them out all over. Yeah, that one you can actually have room to get out the door too.
I could buy that actually.
Hmm.
Just look at it from the right angle and everything's fine.
This one actually fits. There.
Huh.
Indeed. All right. Got you. And you and Tyler's like, where the heck did the Titan's tooth go?
The pedestal of pain could look cool if you flipped it upside down and used some banks to flush it in.
What would you
What does
put
that
on
mean?
top of it?
Like use.
Oh,
Put
it's like
the-
a base for. Like it's a.
I see.
You put.
I guess that's my thing is like the bottom does look kind of cool, but the fact that it has
like a
it's
weird-
made to be,
a
it's
weird
made to build
cliff.
in line is the issue.
Well, you could build it out if you build cave cliffs around. You could do. Like if there was. I mean, I don't know exactly what we're doing here, but
We've gone fully off track.
that's the fun of live internet.
With the tower on top. Wait. Right, but we're trying to figure out how to like make the.
So there's something like kind of neat there, and I guess you could, yeah, it would feel like a sea cliff. We'd have to cover this with something, like I guess pave it with floors, and then I don't know why I keep putting the watchtower away. they just keep asking for more tower.
I have a terrain tray question. Why does the forest one not come in an oversized option?
So which one?
The
forest.
forest terrain tray doesn't come in an oversized option.
We've got a whole bunch of oversized forests. I think the only ones we have in stock are the oversized.
Oh, maybe they meant the opposite then. Maybe like why does it only come in a?
Oh, because we sold all the regular ones. It was, it's because I realized too late in production that we were making them oversized. But I was like, at that point we were already kind of far along on battle boards, and I was like, no, these need to be a clean, true 1 foot and need to fit on. Wait, can that be true? Had I already figured out battle boards at that point, and they needed to be? Really? I don't know. I can't tell what time it is, but I guess it was. I don't know. I for whatever reason, I knew they needed to be a true 1 foot, but we'd already made a bunch, so I said, no, we have to make new ones. And then we had all the extra oversized ones. It's a little tippy, but it does.
So the new ones will not be oversized?
Correct.
Yeah.
Theoretically, everything moving forward is going to be true 1 foot. All battle boards will be a true 12. A 12 by 12 battle board will actually be, or train tray will actually be 12 by 12. At last.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those things that like happened before I was here that I just don't have context for.
Yeah, there was. yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened, but we realized and maybe it was we realized it right at when we were doing ice or something. We measured like, everything else was done except for ice, and I was like, well, we have to like forest needs to be because we were deep into wildlands or we'd already were deep into wildlands development at that point. I was like, no, it's gonna like I don't know. I don't remember the timeline.
So battle boards are 12 by 12? Yes, battle boards
Yes.
are a solid foot, which is why the terrain trays also have to be a solid foot because they're supposed to
Fit on
stick
the
to them.
boards. Yeah, so this sort of fits. Feels like a weird cantilevered.
It works
It's a little
surprisingly
wobbly, but
well,
it's
I
not,
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could find the switch.
Need a driftstone walkway to the entrance.
Yes. There you go. You throw a little
Put the
lava light
LEDs
in
on. Yeah.
there. Those the batteries are pretty dead on this one, but it's there.
They're saying Nate's filled with beans that he doesn't even know about,
I did. Which one?
apparently.
Oh.
I think just that whole backstory.
Yeah, there's a. I live in a bean stew. Like the knowledge, forbidden knowledge, and public knowledge are all mixed together into one crazy medley in my brain. What else? Is there anything else we need to look at in this build? I mean, most of it's just surrounding, just using trifecta walls and.
If anybody has any questions about any of this,
What time is it? Oh, wait. It's 8:40.
8:38. Yeah.
Let me go to sleep.
Are you guys thinking about table mats with forest, water, and so on? So in our last Kickstarter in Wildlands, we started doing that. We started making mats. I think they're all water.
They're all water currently.
Yeah, we've got a mountain lake, we've got a swamp, and we've got a quagmire.
Well, here's a question: if we is this a fun format? Do you guys like a build breakdown? Is there other things we should cover during it? Is there, like, what else do we do?
How many terrain trays for this build in total?
There are.
I think it's including the ones used for elevation as well.
So, 4 12 by 12 magma flow, 2 6 by 6 magma flow, 1 4 by 8 that I put on top over here to mask this bit, 1 8 by 8 that I used in the middle for elevation, and 1 4 by 8 I used in the back of that for further elevation. So that many. Here, we put this in there.
Nice.
Ooh, looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, we could do like a little island in there or something. It's like...
Can you give us an obscure, unguessable hint as to what the mystery Kickstarter will be? We already have.
Not terrain.
Yeah.
It's nothing. How much? I don't know. These are dangerous waters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like it's just over. The announcement is just over a month away.
Yeah.
And everything will
It's
be
gonna be
revealed then.
it's gonna be a surprise.
I am very curious. What kind of is it? A thing you guys had hinted at doing before? Is that something we want to answer or no?
No.
Do we want to answer that?
We should. No.
Okay. Let's see. People say they generally like this idea. It gives them a chance to nag for restocks, says McGreg. Vertex says it would be more fun if the inventory was available. Well, that's the thing too, is people are saying they want build of the month, and with restocks held up the way they are, if we were trying to do build of the month right now, we don't have a lot in stock to use.
This was, I thought, I had a fun build from the home game I thought would be fun to walk through. It was not built with any thought onto what is actually available in stock. Like, it's the opposite. Like, I probably used way too many things that you can't get. It will be frustrating. But is it? I mean, that's the question. Is it better to walk through a neat build where you can't buy half the stuff, or should we try?
It's just,
I'm never gonna build At home, I'm never going to build 2 sets, like build like 2 specific sets or what's in stock.
It's just very hard to.
It's too hard.
It was hard enough like the last couple ones, but that's part of the thing, right? Is we're trying to get this store stock fixed, and we were making really good progress on it, and then
the boat stopped.
The boat stopped existing. Masticon says, any thoughts on modules for core sets? I need to send you that. I need to read it. I finally got internet at the new place today. So
I think the fundamental problem with modules for core sets is not enough people use them. Right? Like
we don't get a ton of engagement on it.
We don't. So like it's really minimal. It's a lot of effort for a little payoff. Maybe I would love to do modules for everything, right? Stats and modules and cool whatever and so, but it doesn't really buy us anything other than just being awesome and cool content and maybe some community building and all that's good. But it's a lot of effort for, and maybe if we monetized it or something, but that's the pizza purpose. The whole point is we wanted to give people cool content that came with their thing. So
that's the thing is like primarily we are not even though we are making written content, we are not a written content company.
Well, because I don't want to charge for it. I mean, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the breakdown, right? Like I don't want to charge. I want to give people content that complements their terrain. I don't want to make them buy it. Like I want it to be a perk of the stuff we're doing, and maybe that's why it's not worth our while. Is that we're giving away stuff that we should be selling for. Like the Dungeon & Doom module is a 400-page monstrosity.
It was a massive amount of work.
And the Cabbage Deep, when the formatting is done on that, that's going to be several hundred pages too. Like it's an enormous amount. Even this content for Wildlands is going to be. I mean, they're averaging at pre-formatted. They're averaging at 12 to 15 pages or something. Right? Celeste was coming in at 15 pages.
Celeste came in at 15. Eli's and Teos's were a little bit longer.
Yeah. So saying 15 pages plus formatting, whatever times 6. So it's that's we're looking at 120 pages plus stats. Whenever it's 150 pages, like it's a lot of, and it's fully lushly laid out and photos and the whole, which maybe is stupid that we shouldn't be wasting all the time. But it's an enormous amount of work for no payoff. And maybe it's stupid. Maybe we should put it up on the DMs Guild and charge for it or something, or whatever. But I don't want to be in the content charging business.
So what makes it weird about charging for it is that with this being stuff that is explicitly made to work with sets.
Yeah.
Like if they buy this adventure and then they go to play it, they're like, oh wait, I'm supposed to have all this stuff that I haven't heard about before. It's like ideally in our head, like what it is like it's a way to get people to find out about us and kind of bring them in and make them want to buy the sets, and so that's why we do it for free.
Well, and also it's a toolbox. It's an idea toolbox of like, hey, here's some ways that you could use this terrain to make your story cool. Like here's a neat thing you could do with this RGB LED, like with these crystals, like having the color, the players, I telegraphed the magical effect with the color at the beginning of the round, so they knew what was going to happen at the end of the round. Once they'd figured out the colors and whatever, like that's a fun thing. Like giving those sort of those seeds of ideas. Here's a thing you could do with this monster. Here's a thing that you could do with this plant. That would, all this. It's a toolbox of ideas to get people excited, thinking of how they could integrate their terrain and fun adventures, and some of the or just run it. Right, you just sit down and run the Dungeon Doom. It's fun. You build that thing out and run it. It's like a fun romp. So I don't know. I don't even know what the original question was, but
have we thought about modules for the core sets?
Oh yeah.
It's just it's a weird tricky thing where ultimately what it comes down to is if we're going to put the effort into making written content, which is something that we're trying to figure out how to do with the Wildlands stuff, like it needs to be stuff that is going to catch people's eye and be engaging if they don't know anything about us.
Yeah.
Like if it's going to actually serve a purpose, like.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, how are people? I don't know. Like, it's ideally like what it would be is this is a way for people to find us and then want to buy the pieces. So how do we make it in a way? How do we make it use our pieces but still be enticing to people who don't yet have our stuff?
I don't know the answer. If somebody's
Yeah.
got it, OTA at dwarvenforge.com. We'd love to hear the answer to
When are,
that.
when are you going to sell those sweet, sweet Dwarven Forge team hoodies and beanies? Everyone in chat wants them.
Is in the works.
We've been dancing
We
around.
literally got a
Yeah.
here's a semi bean. We theoretically, this is all theory. We're going to launch merch at Gen Con. We won't be selling it at Gen Con. We're not going to be selling anything.
We want to avoid doing like physical
Yeah,
transactions.
we don't want to
with
have
people.
transactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to. We want to minimize contact, and also it's just easier to not have to do point of sale. But we're going to launch it at Gen Con, and we may have a sweet 25th anniversary design available because it's the Dwarven Forge 25th anniversary at Gen Con. 1996, Gen Con in 1996 was the first, the maiden voyage, and it's 25 years later. So we're gonna do that, and this is bonkers. You ready? And it came from Jay, so it's like holy moly, he went for this. So right now, the current plan, it doesn't even make sense, is to basically sell merch at cost during Gen Con. So have like from Thursday to Sunday, sell like the T-shirts will be $17. We're using a third party. We're gonna do like a print on demand thing. So
Right.
we're so it's whatever the cost. It's like $17 to print the shirt or whatever. It just literally just charge people cost.
But
so we don't make any money on it. It's just basically a celebration of all the fans and whatever. So if there's a hoodie, it'll be, I don't know what it is, $25 or something. So there's no markup. There's no anything. It's literally just thanks for all the support. Here's a chance to get some merch, and then we'll, as soon as Gen Con's over, we'll charge whatever the markup on it is.
IME, don't worry, we're not physically selling it at Gen Con, so it'll be
For anybody.
Yeah, it's online.
Yeah.
It's online selling. You don't have to be at Gen Con. to
We
get
will
it.
not physically have any of them. We might be wearing some there or whatever, but we're not gonna have any like
So is the at cost thing just like it'll be at cost for anybody who buys it during Gen
on
Con?
the site. Like it'll go up on the site during Gen Con. This is this is our 25th anniversary celebration, and so it's open to anybody. You don't just have to be at Gen Con, because we're not physically selling it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do. Here's a fun one. If there's a booth, if there's a Gen Con, and if we are there in the booth, we're gonna be giving away. If you come to the booth and you are on our mailing list and you're following us on social, we will give you the rubble strewn floor. We're giving away. Eric found we have like a stockpile of it's the 2x2 ruined dungeon floor that has the little removable rubble, has a little hidden spot in the rubble, so you can use the rubble pile separately or put it on the hide the spot or whatever. So we're giving those away. If you come, so anybody of you that are regular watchers, wherever, you just come and show up and we'll give you one. And for people that aren't, they will follow us on social and follow us on email, and we'll give them that. So that'll be kind of neat. Once again, assuming that Gen Con's not shut down because raging pandemic, and see how it all pans out. What was even the question? How did I get there?
They were asking us when we were going to sell merch,
Oh yeah.
and you gave them the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got a sample of one of the T-shirts to run through the dryer. It's gone through the dryer 3 times, or through the wash 3 times so far, or whatever. And it's so far so good. Yeah.
I really like the sweaters and beanies. They came out really well.
Those the
Like-
print on the red sweatshirts came out salmon instead of red, but
I still liked it.
Yeah.
Looked good.
yeah, the design is amazing. It's Felipe is chef's kiss. So we got. Oh man, I wonder if we do. We've never shown anybody the red box thing he did. Did we? Like
The one that
that's-
Felipe did? I think we showed it when
Did we?
he was
Oh,
on
yeah.
the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the cover of the red box, Dwarven Forgified.
It was like a reference to a bunch of our pieces and stuff.
Sassoul, and there's broken bits and everything. Yeah, it's really.
Is
it's
it the
pretty
same
awesome.
design on the shirt as the hoodie, or all different?
I don't know. We haven't locked any of the whatever. Yeah, we will see what it
I
is.
mean, the nice
Yeah.
thing is we have like a wealth of cool graphics and assets that we can
Yeah.
use for shirts
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, and here's the thing, there's been some debate with Jay of what is it worthwhile to do merch? And I was like, well, yes, because there's all these wonderful people that want to proudly wear. This is their lifestyle. They want to proudly wear Dwarven Forge. Say, hey, this is my thing, and it's not we're not doing it to make money. It's like you're making $5 on a T-shirt. Who cares? We're doing it so that you guys can have the thing and wear it and be like, look, this is my cool hat or my sweatshirt or my thing, whatever. And it's like,
and there are easy
awesome.
ways to do it that don't tax us that much or take up a ton of our
especially
time.
third party printing, so we don't even have to do anything. We just upload the designs and do them, and it's just like it's the best.
Yeah. Vertex is saying we should do things to make money sometimes.
Yeah, that is a recurring theme, isn't it?
I don't know why our business is failing. Like what?
We're not failing. We're not.
Oh no,
failing,
we're not failing. Just like hypothetically, just like
yeah,
we're doing everything for free, and I don't know why it's not working out.
Well,
Like,
my parents, my parents grew up in the '60s, I guess we're going to college in the '60s, right? And some of their friends started a hiking store, and they had. And they were all, just a bunch of hippies that wanted to start a store because they loved, just exploring the Sierras and just being out in nature and getting away from it. And so they had free Fridays where you could come if you were a hiker and you needed some like cool hiking boots, whatever. Just it's free Fridays. Just take the boots you need and just go hike. And they went out of business.
well, yeah, because I figured Friday would be like the
if
busiest
you showed
day
up
for
on a
rentals.
Friday, you could just take something for free. And
but Friday is when everybody's going to be going because it's the weekend.
I know, but so they went out of business. It was a hippie business model, and it turns out it didn't work. But it was really nice, they built a community around, like, just, about hiking and being outdoors and being free. So maybe there's a little of that in, maybe I've taken Free Fridays forward, and maybe it wasn't a good lesson to learn from that. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Mace is here.
Hey, Mace.
Hey, Mace. We
Free
just
Fridays. We're talking about merch.
Yeah,
Mace has been working really hard on merch.
We just told everybody that the merch is. Mace has been fighting for us to have merch for a very long time.
Like a year and a half.
Like 2
years.
Like when you saw like the beanies and sweatshirts, like that was like the beanies and sweatshirts that we got like last Christmas that the team got. That was like all Mace basically. She's been pushing for merch for a long time.
Yeah, Queen O merch.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions? Anything anybody needs to know? We're here. We have nothing to do with our hands.
If there are questions that we missed while we were answering other ones, is Felipe ever going to get his dwarven doors? Asked Capel.
What were his dwarven doors?
He designed like.
We made dwarven doors.
There was like a design or something that he said he was like really heartbroken over when he was on the stream.
Which one?
I can't remember off the top of my
I can't tell
head.
you how many pieces of concept art that have been made that have never actually been created, / how many sculpts have been started and never created, how many sculpts have been finished that have never been created, how many ideas that didn't even get to the being sketched out phase. I don't know. I can't remember what anything is. And the other question is, are there any other anything else we could do if we do this format again? Anything we can do aside from build it with sets that are in stock, which is not going to happen.
Non-fungible people are just DF tote bags, beanie bag. Well, we do tote bags.
Yeah, they're on the site. You can buy them right now.
Man, those pretty much all the designs that Felipe's done for tote bags could also be used for shirts and stuff and be very cool.
Yes.
Mace is saying we're going to make a max mature castle that we can actually live in. Dwarven Forge hacky sack.
Ooh.
Oh man, have you guys ever thought of making a piece so you could hold terrain trace at 90 degrees for 3D builds?
No, but we've made some using angle irons and wood and a magnet.
That's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like, do enough solutions to that problem already exist that we don't need to make one? Because we've seen a couple builds that have done stuff like that.
There's something to be said about doing an all-in-one, or just offering a thing that does it. I'd want to make it a multi-purpose, like the anti-gravity rig, like something. If you were gonna do sort of just non-flat builds, like something that could be useful for 90 degrees or maybe 180 degrees, or maybe two of them in conjunction could give you a 180 degrees if you wanted to do ceiling gags or.
Zanako is wondering about painting videos for Wildlands. Any plans we can announce for it? We're gonna make them. They're gonna come out around the time that the stuff is actually going out. Probably not.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably gonna wait to shoot it until after this.
We were waiting
Kickstarter.
until we had a bunch of factory finished unpainted.
That's the main thing. We don't want to make a painting video.
We don't have a bunch of unpainted pieces. We have one of each. Not quite. We're not ready to paint our only samples.
It's also, we don't want to make a painting video and then the factory tells us like, oh, we actually have to change this paint scheme.
Well, that's not good. Yeah.
Dude,
the L, it wouldn't be hard to make a cool L bracket that had a pair of magnets and then a side brace, a thing, and that would be cool.
But yeah, we are going to do painting videos. They'll be coming out when the pieces start getting to people, basically. Do you have anything for content creators, a press kit or something like that?
What do you mean?
We were talking about making a press kit recently.
What? I want to hear more about this because this is interesting to me.
Anything for content creators? Basically, just like a collection of assets.
Just like logos and whatnot, or more in depth, what would you need? What would you want for what would make your content better? What would we put in this kit? Because I love this idea.
Yeah, because if people want to make stuff to get the word out, if we can enable that, that'd be nice. I know when the Gentleman Wake made his video, he asked us if he could use clips from the Wildlands Kickstarter video and stuff, and we were like, yeah, go for it. Use any of that footage, as long as you're not saying that it's something it isn't. What
would be neat would be a beauty library that was, here's three
stock footage.
Our beauty footage for here's three clips of dungeons, here's 3 clips of caverns, here's 3 clips of hellscape, here's 3 clips of some basics. So there's if the kit was here's the logos, here's some basic beauty of all of our biomes, here's a glossary of the terms we use or whatever.
We could do that because I want to, once we have the wiring done, I want to make beauty reels for every biome that we can just use for pre-roll and stuff if we want to and stuff like that. So while we're doing that, that's when we can
give people that a little. What else would you want in the content creators kit?
They're saying logos, high-res photos.
Yeah, we could do that.
Pro photography. We do have a lot of really nice photos.
We have a lot of photography. We have
all these photos that
we have more photos than we even know. There's so much
so many photos, and we just haven't used a lot of them for stuff. They're just sitting there.
Yes.
All the stuff that we're having Aaron take right now could go in that.
We have stuff we haven't even seen. There's thousands of photographs.
Let's see. Any new paint colors for Wildlands? I don't think we have any plans to make new paint colors.
We had some paint, or the paint restock. The Suez Canal thing really messed up. We were supposed to get more paint in stock, and a bunch of those supplies for it were jammed up in the Suez Canal thing, and that, I don't know. We're probably due for that now.
Permission to use stuff from the site. Yeah, we should make a press kit and then just have stuff on there that says you can use if you want to use footage from any of the YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah, or if you need assets from the site, or whatever.
Because right now, if anybody's wanting to make anything, we'll just say right now, as long as you're not claiming that this is stuff that you made, or saying that it's something that it isn't or whatever, you can, if you're talking about our stuff, you can use images and videos and all of our stuff. That's fine. We don't have any problem with that.
You can wear a fake mohawk and give a funny spiel.
Yeah.
We're there for that.
Physical backdrops.
Ooh,
I keep wanting to do that. We have all those photos.
Or just a high-res photo that you could print out for a backdrop or something, which people have been asking for.
Yeah, we should. We keep talking about it. It's oh yeah, we should do that, and then it just keeps falling by the wayside. because of all the other stuff we got to do. But like, it feels like it wouldn't take that much time to just organize that stuff because we have that. We have all those assets basically.
Ish. Well, we've got some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good
I
question.
want to make a few videos about specific products, but it feels weird to use regular web images. Yeah, if you want to use video clips of anything that we've put out, go ahead.
Please.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're going to make a favorable review. We're like, you're definitely in the market for that.
Off-topic question. I could use some more of the tiles that come with the puzzle floors. Basically,
Was there a topic? Was there
that's fair. Basically, I'd like to... Yeah, we're kind of just doing a Q&A right now.
Yeah.
Basically, I'd like to use all the stickers that come with the puzzle floors. Any chance you could stock just some blank tiles so we can use all the stickers?
That's not crazy.
What is the mold like for that?
I don't know, but they're really easy. They're like 22 millimeter squares or something.
They're not a complicated
no.
thing.
No.
People are saying they like a dungeon gray color.
You know,
I think we've talked about that in the office a
Yeah.
couple times.
It was worked on. I don't remember what happened with it. It was kicked around for a while. I think the problem is we're not a big enough client. They hate doing more custom colors for us because we're not a big client.
Yeah. If we just really start killing it in this, once the restocks start happening again, here's the thing: we've been growing our base considerably
We
lately.
just ran out of.
It feels like every
We
week.
ran out of boats.
Feels like every week we get at least a couple new people in the Discord who are making their first purchase and stuff. Like, we are growing. I'm worried we're going to run out of stuff for new people to buy with the boat situation. But, yeah. Let's see.
We should wrap up. If there's
Rabbit
any
saying,
other-
also, where's the Nate sound effects box?
Oh man, our top engineers are working on it. We don't have any engineers.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
the
man.
sound effect box would be, Stefan was trying to develop a sound effect app at one point. Remember Warhorn?
No.
No, it's better off. It was a neat idea. Like, he was like, I want a simple thing you can trigger sound effects with on your phone, particularly if you're doing like a convention game or whatever, and it can hook up your Bluetooth speaker or whatever. And it was like, the concept was like, yeah, like, with all the sort of go-to sound effects, right? A scream and an impact and an explosion and whatever. And like, okay, that's some cool, like, basics. The problem was the interface was unusable, and the library was like, there was like an arrow shot, like a woman screaming, 7 different sounds of livestock crossing the road. Like, there was like, I swear to God, there was like ducks crossing a road, donkeys crossing a road, pigs crossing a road. Like what? Wait. There's like 20 sound effects in this thing, and half of them were just different animals crossing a road. It was like, and there was a pirate song, it was like this really weird. It was basically a slice. It was a slice inside Stefan's head. It was the sounds that he heard, and it was this very interesting collection of very, very specific. It was a tiny niche. It was a sliver of like things that him, and it was like
it was what Stefan wanted, with not a lot of consideration given to what anybody else.
It was
would
what he
want.
wanted for like one specific adventure that apparently had a lot of animals crossing the road, but it was
To
like
get to the other side.
over and over again. Like,
Constantly. It's
yeah,
it's that puzzle where you got to get the fox and the chicken and the grain across
yes,
the river.
it was totally.
Yeah.
It was like But and I was like, well, why don't we just partner up with someone like Battle Bards or Sirenscape, and that has like a library of thousands of sounds, or maybe they already have this. Where he's like, no, we're gonna do, yeah. So it did. Warhorn.
Overboard wants to know if there's any Underdoom stuff coming.
Yes.
We've got that Caverns core set. We're doing an Underdoom.
Yes, I don't know when it's coming, but
Yeah,
it's been made, or they're making it, or it's been made.
It is in the restock after this one.
Yeah, so I don't know when that's going to arrive, but we will tell you as soon as I'm super excited. I can't wait for. There's new Underdoom pieces, right? We have the whole Caverns core painted in Underdoom. It's everything I need. I have lots of other people. No, because if you have the Underdoom encounter from Caverns Deep, you've got tons of trifecta pieces. You've got You've got cliffs. You got natural bridge. You got stereo vines. You got all this great stuff. You got passages. You have very little bread and butter, right? There's not enough core pieces. Now you've got core sets. Get a mega, or 2 cores, or hell, just it's only there's no mega. You should get 2 cores. Get 1 core, 2 core, 3 cores, and you have like all the bread and butter you need to go with all your thing, and off you go.
What is the treasure pack in the restock? That's one of the new configurations. If you go on the Discord in the Archivist's library, that configuration is listed there. Also, we recently just built with
3 small treasure piles, 3 large treasure piles, 3 sort of Andronicus, 3 treasure chests.
Yeah. Basically, so three of these, 3 of these, 3 of these, and 3 of these.
Yeah, so it's like, the idea was it could be objectives for like Frostgrave, or just a bunch of treasure to scatter in your dungeon, or just neat little MacGuffin-y bits and stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to. That's coming in the restock after this, also, right?
Yeah.
Well, whenever that it may be.
Yeah, basically.
That one's awesome. That's got the rabbit special. That's got the
it
new
has
cities, not new the new configurations of city stuff, ruin stuff, a little Aranthor scatter pack. The treasure pack.
Basically, this next restock that's coming is just getting a bunch of the core stuff back into the store. The one after it is a ton of new configurations and new core sets.
Hellscape core, Underdoom core, Ice advanced core.
Hellscape core. So new configurations are in the second restock. The one after this one, that's the Underdoom core, Ice advanced, and then like all the other new ones. And then the third restock after that is all the new Hellscape stuff. That's Hellscape
and the
core.
Natural Bridge.
Yeah, Hellscape Natural Bridge. Like,
so excited whenever that comes.
It's just the boats.
Well, there's things to look forward to. Moral of the story. Things not to look forward to. There's no hobby hang tomorrow, but we will be back next week. Also, please send us if you've got some build requests. If you'd love to see us do a stream of some builds where you're like, I need to figure out how to do something for my home game, or I don't know how to do this, or what would look coolest for this, or I don't know. If you want some cool build challenge or whatever, send us your build ideas. Why don't you start a thread on Discord for that? I can round them up.
Yes, we can do that.
Is it a thread? What do you call it on Discord? A cord?
So they actually just added threads, which is actually pretty
channel.
Useful
What is it?
Yeah, channel.
Channel. Oh, whatever. It's a Discord.
Yeah. Go on the Discord.
You can tell how often I'm on Discord.
Go to the Discord inside the Discord.
Yeah. The cord in the Discord.
The rip cord.
That cord. So we got that coming on, and I don't know what else we have going. Next week we're going to go through all the Wildlands. We got the battle boards. We got Dragon test shot. We got Waterfall. We got a bunch of test shots. Plus whatever. Maybe the Bayou Bard shows up between now and then.
I hope so. Man, I just want that final. I just want that final confirmation that's going to be all right. You know.
Yeah.
Like
we've got all the drift zones that we tweaked the rods a little bit, so they're beveled on the ends. So they sound like there's so much. Like I'm excited. It's probably going to be the whole episode is probably going to be just playing with Wildland stuff. So with that, yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thank you guys for thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Congrats for winning your gift certificate. Was it Spirit Flame?
Spirit Flame. Very close.
Woo!
Yeah.
Congrats, Spirit Flame. Thank you, everybody.
Is the Ice Advance going to be clear? It's going to be like the Ice Cavern core, but it's the Advanced core. It's the same composition as the...
We stopped doing the clear ones because it didn't look as good as we thought it was going to. It was, the fundamental problem is because the bottom of the pieces have, there's an indentation. That's a bad example. There's an indentation on the bottom of the pieces. It actually reads when it's clear. You can actually see the indentation, so there's weird lines, and it ended up not working as well as it should. Versus the casting was a pain because we had to run clear on the whole thing, and so whatever. Versus the ice paint we did in Caverns Deep, using opaque base, uses the same dungeon gray base, so it's much easier for casting. We can do the same casting and paint off different colors. And it ended up just looking better. What would be neat would be the hybrid if we had the base was opaque and then we had like cool little bits that were translucent on there. But that would also be really hard to restock. So we're not doing that. But it's gonna look really cool, and the advanced cores. Once again, new shapes for ice still in there, and a natural bridge in ice. And did we do that? We did, right?
Natural bridge in ice. Yes.
I think. I mean, it was on the list, but I can't remember. Some of that stuff died in the very end. But.
That's been the coolest. That's been the coolest thing about doing the core sets is the way Cavern Steep was done. Yeah, there was just like random pieces that got left out of paint schemes, and so just getting those all in every paint scheme is great.
So good. But that's for the future, and for now, good night. I don't even know what that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Thank you. Bye.